closure here? Frank Thomas says no with his 29th homer. So Washburn has discussed why, because he was winning, he had the no-hitter, and now the game is tied thanks to the big hurt. It's Thomas again, and yes, Washburn is still in there to face the big hurt. Will he be hurt?
There it goes! Shot to left! Gone! Frank Thomas with a game-winning home run!
101-year-old Theodore Ratcliffe at the game, famous Negro League catcher. Top 5, Miguel Ordonez. That's a top 10 nominee, taking a base hit away from Alfredo Amazaga. Nice. Bottom 7, game tied at 1. Miguel Olivo laying it down, and he's in there safe. Didn't get over to cover. Slid for effect. Next batter, Robbie Alomar. He too is going to bunt. He too is going to get dirty. Get in the dirt. Wouldn't have mattered. He'd have been safe. Bases are Chuck. Next guy up, Carlos Lee. Doubles down the line. Graffinino Olivo will score. Alomar going to try to get in there to third, and that's not going to go so well for him. That makes it 3-1 White Sox, though. Jerry Manuel on the small ball.
If you're going to win a championship, you got to win a lot of different ways. And if we can show that we can win by playing small ball, by playing big ball, or whatever you want to call it, the better for it. I mean, you're not going to always pound everybody out of the ballpark.
Ain't no homers, but we're just going to give you the 5-2 score. Not going to draw any bigger picture than that.
Don Lackey facing Roberto Alomar. This is a lost start. The bunt. Nobody's there to cover. Alomar in with a single. Sitting 280. Bottom of the second, Lackey facing Alomar again. Again, the bunt. His second bunt single of the game. Jerry Manuel on Alomar's bunting.
Terrible angle.
I think now that he's comfortable, drops a bunt down, and I just really think for him that sets up the rest of his game.
All he needed was confidence. Esteban Loaiza facing Jeff Devannon with a man on third. Loaiza all over that. 9 Ks in 6 innings. Ask Garrett Anderson about that. Strike out. Next batter, Tim Salmon. Can't catch up with the nasty stuff by Loaiza, who allowed 3 runs, 10 hits. Trying to win his 16th. Bottom 3, Lackey facing Maglio Ordonez. Ordonez. He's been lifting his 23rd home run of the year. The White Sox are up 3-1. Bottom 4, guess who's up again? Robbie Alomar. Alomar off the foot of Lackey, and Alomar is in with a single. His 3rd infield hit of the game. Bottom 6, Greg Jones facing Alomar. And this is a shot to third. Scott Spezio, great play, but his throw not in time. So Alomar's 4th infield hit of the game. Last player to do that, Christian Guzman in June of 2001. Loaiza walking Devannon. Manuel pulls Loaiza and puts Damaso Marte into pitch, looking for his 10th save. Marte facing Scott Spezio, 2 out, 2 on, gets the job done. And we have a tie on top of the Central.
Sox trying to slow down the Rangers, who've won 8 straight. Bartolo Colon, his ERA better than a dozen the last 2 starts here. Hank Blaylock charged, but the former driller going to get robbed of a base hit by Carlos Lee from out of your picture. Slides in with a top 10 nominee. Bottom 3 now, Colby Lewis facing Frank Thomas. Jerry Manuel wants Big Hurt to, hit for average. Frank's more of a power guy. Number 31 of the season, but bottom 7, Aaron Fultz. Joe Crady with 2 on. Crady long fly. That'll get down for a triple. A couple will score. Sox are going to win this 7-3. So now they are up a half game in the Central, and the Royals do fall a full game back and now occupy 3rd. Elvis Knight in Chicago, bottom 2nd. Jose Valentin, Juan Dominguez, and you can return that to sender. The first to 2 for Valentin. White Sox up 3-0. Bottom 3rd, Frank Thomas, and as we all know, wise men say only fools give Frank something to hit. 4-0 Sox. Big Hurts 32nd. Top 9, Ramon Navarre. Gonna fly. Willie Harris is out there. It's written here, tiny bobbles, but that's Don Ho, right?
Well, yeah.
I love the Hawaii. Of course, Elvis, you recall, blew Hawaii, heir to a big pineapple. Oh, well, there you see it again. You know what they say, not about tactics, baby. It's just the beast within me, or so said the king in Jailhouse Rock. The Sox win it 7-1. Love the mutton chops.
At bat. That's why Rafael Palmeiro. That's why he's probably going to be a Hall of Famer. Speaking of which, Frank Thomas, bottom 3 off Ismael Valdez. A 3-run shot is 33rd, 3-0 Chicago. Then 1 inning later, Hurts so good again. This one off Jay Powell. A 2-run shot is 34th. 2 home runs, his 25th career.
Second, no score. Paul Konerko, he's been so good lately. Just don't groove one to him, and the Rocket did. First of 2 bops on the night. 14 total now for the year, 1-0 Sox. Top 3rd, Joe Creedy, he wants to hit a home run off a Hall of Famer. He did. That's his 16th. 2-0 Sox. 2-0. That's enough for Esteban Loaiza, who is 6-1 since the break and cruising along all year against Derek Jeter. 7 innings, 1 hit, 9 strikeouts, flat out nasty for his 17th win. Top 5, 4-0 Sox. The bases are loaded. You saw Clemens' mama. Here's Frank Thomas's granny. His 8th career grand slam off the foul pole. 5th guy to hit a granny off of Clemens. 8-0. Next pitch, Miguel Ordonez. That's a big stroke to the black. Far, first to 2 on the night for him, 24th of the season. 9-0 Sox. Clemens, first time he's allowed 4 dingers in a game since July 13th of '95. The Sox win this thing big. 13-2 is the final. Herself throwing out the first pitch, I imagine. Frank Thomas is yummy. The big hurt. 11th home run in August. That's a career high. 36th. Sox trail 2-1. In the 4th, a bit later, Carl Everett up, lines it. David DeLucci going to track it down. Now we got to play at the plate. Carlos Lee digging hard. The relay throw. Not a time. Game tied at 2. Next batter, Paul Konerko. After 1 double, we'll double it up. Left center, that'll get down. Everett, he can just trot home. 3-2 Sox. We're just fawning right now over the Sox offense. Joe Creedy had a homer off David Wells. This time, almost a home run. Had the home run actually on Tuesday. This off Wells. Another double. 3 consecutive doubles. Later in the 4th, 5-2, Robbie Alomar off David Wells. Again, everybody roughing up Wells. 2-run homer for Robbie. 7-2. Second for Alomar. Joe Torre on Wells' performance.
He just couldn't get a ball down and you know, made bad pitches. And, you know, again, these guys are hot and they're swinging the bat really well. And they pummeled us, basically.
For first in the Central, Mike Maroth trying to avoid his 19th defeat and avoid the Tigers' 100th loss. Frank Thomas, he's been lifting. 38 homers on the year, 414 in his career, 3-0 Chicago. Top 7, Maroth still in there against Carlos Lee. Career high 27th homer, 94 RBIs for Lee, 19th loss for Maroth. The White Sox now a half game ahead of the Royals, who were rained out.
Loaiza facing the Tigers in 2nd inning. Dimitri Young hits it. Carlos Lee catches it. Watch Lee again. Great catch by Lee. Focus. Next batter, Kevin Witt. He was 0 for 3 on the day. Carlos Pena 0 for 4. Loaiza facing Witt again, and these are the breaks. 4 hits and 1 earned run over 8 innings for Loaiza. Joe Creedy has 5 homers in his last 10 games. 1-0 Tigers. Creedy at the plate. We told you about the homers for a reason. Creedy, the home alone shot, 1-1 tie at that point. Same inning, Roberto Alomar on second. Miguel Ordonez singles to left. Alomar rolling. It's the go-ahead run, and it's more than enough. White Sox remain in first place. They win 6-1. Twins in
Top first, no score, a man on, 2 out. Ben Broussard. This is deep, opposite way. Carlos Lee. Oh, man, that's a great catch. I don't think Buddy Lee could elevate like Carlos Lee. Take another look. Lee saved at least the run, and he got the wind knocked out of him. He'd be okay. Bottom 2, it was a painful first 2 innings for Lee, because look what this, Billy Traber then hits him on the shoulder. I mean, after he was knocked down, he gets hit in the shoulder. It'd be worth it, would it? 2 men on for Paul Konerko. Paul Konerko is 16th home run of the year, heating up at the right time for the White Sox. Up 3-0. It was 5-2, Chicago in the 8th, 2 on, 1 out. Damaso Marte pitching. Jody Garrett gets hit in the shoulder. Coco Crisp scores on a ground and made it 5-3. Marte strikes out Alex Escobar, inning over. Still 5-3 in the 9th, tying run at the plate. Tom Gordon strikes out Brandon Phillips. 9th save for Gordon. John Garland allowed 5 hits and 7 into the 3rd. He's 2-7 lifetime against Cleveland.
18th win of the year, looking good early against Brandon Phillips, who went 0 for 4 with 2 Ks, and Loaiza taking about 19. Next batter, Jody Garrett. Loaiza dealing, and Garrett's going to be a good hitter, folks. Loaiza had 10 Ks on the day.
Looking a lot like Richard Dotson there.
Up 1-0. Everett leaving off Jason Stanford, 4-0. Carl's got 26 home runs this season. In the 3rd, Loaiza lets him back in. He gets the bottom half. Paul Konerko, Rafael Betancourt. That's not going to stay in the yard. Solo shot. Konerko 17th. Betancourt kicking. Konerko in the 7th, tied at 5. through. Alomar scores. Ordonez coming in. Garrett's throwing. Hey, it got by Bard. So the good and the bad of Garrett and Bard all in this highlight. White Sox up 2. Loaiza gets us to
2 outs. Frank Thomas, I ain't gonna say that, but that ain't right.
He's killing the ball.
39th homer of the year. Before that, Big Hurt had been in an 0-for-11 slump. Or not. Sox take a 5-3 lead. They win it 7-3. Now listen and listen.
Bottom second, 2 on, 1 out. Joe Creedy gets his bat on it. It's deep. Is it deep enough? Torrey Hunter says, I'll tell you how deep. But wait a minute. He misplayed it. How often do you see that? Like never. Carlos Lee scores. It's a double for Creedy. Take another look. Playing cautiously. You saw it. Let's go to the 6th. Hunter. The nubber. Sandy Alomar throws at Corey Koski at third. Twins third base coach Al Newman arguing the call. Does he have a point with third base ump Jerry Davis? Take another look. Koski sliding under the tag. Should have been called safe. It's pretty obvious. Later in the inning, Pierzynski on first, also runner on second. Twins sloppy on the path.
Usually the bat guy really isn't paying attention too much, not thinking they're a throw-over. So, if I wouldn't have got that, I walked next out, have been bases loaded. So it was a big play for the game.
Bottom 7, 6-2, Chicago. Carlos Lee. Carlos Lee. Number 28. His 100th RBI of the year. First time in his career he has had 100 RBIs in a year. 8-3 Chicago in the 9th. Justin Morneau. Battle score Denny Hocking. It's now an 8-4 game. Twins now down 8-5. Later in the inning, first, second, 2 out. Jacques Jones making things interesting for Minnesota. Scoring Corey Koski off of Tom Gordon. It's 8-6. Twins now with 4 in the 9th. Next batter, Gordon strikes out Michael Kadire to end the game. The White Sox have won 5 straight. They have a 2-game edge now over the Twins.
And if something big happens. Now to the Red Sox, dealing with the White Sox, Fenway Park, and this is sort of a hang-em and bang-em pitch from Tim Wakefield, and the only one that really got hit hard. Carlos Lee jumped in his 29th, 1-0 Chicago. Nomar in a big spot with men on first and second. All the way to the wall, and that's where it lands in the glove of Carl Everett. Johnny Damon tags, he goes to third. Grady Little said Nomar never felt well. Hasn't felt well all day, and perhaps that was why the ball didn't get out of the yard. Ramirez flies out weakly. Billy Miller, center field, left center field, and Carlos Lee gets hung up on the wall. I mean, that's been a problem for a lot of players. He literally got hung up.
I can't believe it doesn't happen more often with those hooks hanging out of the scoreboard.
I can't believe they actually still have hooks hanging out of the scoreboard.
Yeah, that's how they put up the names of the teams.
Oh, is that what?
Absolutely.
Oh, I thought they just were random hooks. Here's Nomar. And Bartolo Colon throw a 97. This is late in the game. Nomar 0 for 3, and he pops up a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. That was the 8th inning. In the 9th inning, I mean, he's the guy. With all due respect to Loaiza and Burley, Colon's their guy. He gets Manny Ramirez to ground out to second. Manny, nothing in the game. David Ortiz flies out, 2 men down.
It didn't seem like they squared one ball all night long. He was
7 miles an hour, in and out, corner to corner, pretty tough to square.
Complete game. Colon's 3rd straight complete game, and again,
and the Sox. John Burkett, 2-0 against Chicago this season. Carlos Lee, unloading. He gets 2 points. There was a man on. Lee's 30th homer, first 30-homer season, 2-0 White Sox. Bottom second, still 2 love. Mark Burley to Manny Ramirez. Well, he cut that in half. That's far. Manny's 33rd. Sox still up a run, though. The white ones. Top 5th, 3-2. Burkett facing Lee again. This one only half as good. It's a double, but Robbie Alomar scores from first. Sox go up 4-2, build the lead to 7-2. Lee 2 for 4 and 3 RBI.
Troy Percival and the Angels came
to the first. Loaiza would throw a lot of pitches. There he is walking Shannon Stewart in the first. 2 batters later, 3-0 count. Loaiza walks Doug Minkiewicz. Next batter, 2 on, 1 out. As you look at the pitch count, Loaiza walks Jacques Jones. That loads the bases. The Twins would score 1 in the first on a sac fly. Let's move to the second. The struggles continue. 2 on, 1 out, 3-1 pitch. He walks Shannon Stewart. Bases loaded again. 4th walk and 1 in the 3rd for Loaiza. Next batter, Hocking on the ground. Roberto Alomar. Sweet play. And the finish, but Mike Ryan would score to make it 2-0. Check out the pitch count at the bottom of your screen. Esteban Loaiza wild. Christian Guzman scores. It's 3-0. Loaiza just 2 1/3 inning, 5 walks, 74 total pitches. What up, Jerry Manuel?
He might be at the time of the year where, he might be a little fatigued, and he might be somewhat tired. And that was just unfortunate because that's uncharacteristic of Esty.
Shortest outing since July of 2001. Bottom 3, 4-0, 2-on-1 out. Christian Guzman about to make it worse. Carlos Lee, he's nobody, Lee. Carlos is a lot taller, robbing Guzman of a 3-run homer. SportsCenter top 10 nominee, of course. Bottom 7, 4-1 Twins, 1-on, 1-out. Torrey Hunter up. He's got 99 RBI on the year. Did I say 99? I meant 100. The Twins win, defeating the White Sox. What a big game, 5-2. Harold Reynolds, your insight. 11 of the last 14 looking to go up 2.5 on Jerry Manuel's White Sox. No score in the third. Mike Ryan facing John Garland. Ryan, he's been lifting. His 4th home run of the year makes it 1-0 Twins, and the over 40,000 were waving their homer hankies. 3-0 in the 5th. 2 outs. Luis Rivas running on the pitch. Play at second, and Rivas is called safe. Jose Valentin doesn't like the call. Take another look. It is close. And Manuel knows that would have been the 3rd out. Later in the bottom of the 5th, with the Twins capitalized, Jacques Jones. Blooper opposite way off of Garland. Rivas was score. Rivas was 2 for 3 in this one, and that would be it for very depressed Garland. 4-0 Twins. Top of the 6th. Great Twins defense. Corey Koski, unbelievable play to rob Maglio Ordonez. Another look. It's a top 10 nominee. Great play by Koski. Top 7 White Sox on the board. Joe Creedy. The 210th homer by Chicago this year. 4th highest in the AL. Number 19 for Creedy. Only mistake really for Kenny Rogers, who allowed 6 hits and 6 in the 3rd. And Eddie Godardo, 37 saves in 40 chances, getting Everett to bounce out to the double play. The Twins moved 2.5 up on Chicago. You know, Minnesota has the best record in the majors since the All-Star break. Sox needing a win to pull within a game and a half of the Twins. Bartolo Colon hoping the White Sox avoid a sweep. Jacques Jones, he's a fly guy. 2-run home run, ties up the game at 2. Jones's 14th home run of the season. Twins fans love it. They got their Homer Hankies working in overtime. Oh, speaking of Homer Hankies, remember 1991? That's when the Homer Hanky was born. They ran wild then. Back to the game Thursday, bottom 3. Colon against Jones again. Swing and a miss. Jones again, swing and a miss. You don't even think about getting the heat by Jones for a 3rd time. His 8th career multi-home run game, 3rd this year, number 15 on the year. Fans, of course they're going nuts again. That guy needs a Homer Hanky. Top of the 5th, White Sox down 5-2. Runners on the corners. On the mound for Minnesota, Kyle Loesch. Carlos Lee on the ground. It's a 5-4-3 double play. Inning over. Loesch out of the jam. Top 9, White Sox down 5-3. Carl Everett at the box, and Everett pops it up. Doug Minkiewicz, he's not going to let a wall get in his way of making a play. Would you believe he hung on? Take another look at the top 10 nominee, of course. Tumbles over the wall, holds on to it. He also went 1 for 4. He's hitting 304. 2 outs. Eddie Godardo in, looking to put this thing away against Sandy Alomar Jr. Breaks his bat, pops it up. Game will be over. Save number 38 for Godardo. Twins complete the sweep. Kyle Loesch wins his 14th.
By the way, the Tribune is owned by the Cubs.
Yeah.
5-4 Royals, runner on second. Frank Thomas came into this one in a 2 for 21 slide. Base hit, and Sandy Alomar, he's sliding home safe. We're tied at 5. Next batter, Maglio Ordonez. Crack, back, track. Jack. His 28th. White Sox go on to win at 8-5, and they end a 3-game losing streak. But is it too little, too late?